Mills and Weaver. Weaver steps onto the bump. Mills into the right-hander's batter's box. First pitch from Weaver. Slider called for a strike. Umpire has a very late strike calls. Something that I'm noticing here today. Kind of lets it sit. Takes outside for ball one. I believe for now, knock on wood, streaming errors have been fixed. Let's hope that stays put for the rest of the game. Called strike two. 1-2. Mills shaking his head in disapproval. Sorry about the streaming errors. I believe, hopefully, like I said, knock on wood, that we figured it out. Here's the 1-2 from Weaver. Strike three, rung him up. Mills shocked on the look on his face. And in the words of Mills about the umpire strike zone, it's everywhere. So, we know how he feels about two of those strike calls, at least. Aaron Vasquez up to the plate. Taking ball inside for a 1-0 count. First one hit back up the middle. Tough play. Throw over to first. They're going to call him out at first. Nice play by Hartung playing second base. Usually where Weaver plays so quickly. 2 up, 2 down. Really good piece of contact right there, but a great play by the varsity quarterback. Now batting Keegan Truist. Catcher hitting in the 3 spot today. Here comes the first pitch. Takes ball outside. Mifflin County swept Chambersburg last season. They won game 1 at Chambersburg 6-2. And then the Trojans went to Mifflin County without one. It's fouled way out of play. Then Chambersburg went to Mifflin County and then lost the final game to the Huskies 3-1. Mifflin County's next game, or should I say games, is a doubleheader on Monday, where the Huskies take on the reigning state champs, the Cedar Cliff Colts. Here's the 1-1. Takes high and outside. That one, a no shot. And it'll be 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Takes outside. 3-1's the count for Truitt. This will be Weaver's 10th pitch of the game right here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Weaver sets and fires. That one fouled back. Will go full. So the count is full. Weaver trying to go 3 up, 3 down, just like Mills did in the first half of the inning. I believe some thunder from way behind us. 3-2 pitch in the dirt. Truitt as the first base runner of the game. Go to first base. There is some rumbling. I'm not sure if it's for weather. There is a highway just behind us. I have a pinch runner here. Or courtesy runner, my apologies. Stevens. Hey, that's my last name. Murray now steps up to the plate. 2 out, runner on first. Weaver takes a look, pick off, in safely. My apology for the reaction time there. Still very early in the game. First pitch. Taken for strike one. It's almost like the umpire pauses to build suspense on whether it's a strike or a ball, especially on those close calls. Weaver, the 0-1. Take strike two. Murray quickly in a hole here. 0-2, 2 outs. Runner on first after the walk. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back. We'll do it once more. Mifflin County coming up on a really tough part of their schedule, as not only do they take on a red-hot Chambersburg team, they take on the state champs on Monday, and then Wednesday they traveled at Mechanicsburg. Really tough stretch for the Huskies. Here comes the 0-2 once more. That one's going to get blooped over the shortstop's head, and it'll get down for a base hit. Strohecker runs the ball in, and Weaver one strike away for a second time from getting out of the inning, and now Chambersburg has a runner in scoring position. Now at Aiden Appleby, my apologies. Two on, 2 out for Weaver. Half of the first inning. Take strike one. One strike, 2 outs. 0-1's the count, 2 on. A hit and a walk. That one's low. Good block by Lepley. 1-1. Weaver, this will be his 17th pitch of the game. 1-1, 2 out. 2 on. Weaver sets and fires, swings through strike two. Good fastball on the outside part of the plate. We're going to give you score updates at softball. We're going to give you score updates around the mid-pen, really coverage all over the place. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Weaver. Takes outside. We'll have 2s across the board. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 count. For number 2. Here comes. Lepley's going to step off. Not sure if this is maybe a pitch calm issue or what the case might be, but it was fairly quick mound visit at that. Two out, 2 on. Here comes the pitch. Chopped foul. Will do it once more. Great job by Appleby to defend here in a very peculiar situation. Chambersberg has advanced 2 back-to-back on a walk and then a bloop hit over Shirey. Here comes the 2-2 once more. Weaver looks back at second. Delivers. He struck him out. Blew the heater by him. And just like that, that's the end of the first inning. Mifflin County able to strand 2 on base. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. is now we'll go take a look around the league and what else is happening in Mifflin County sports. We'll first start off with what's going on around the league. State College playing Cedar Cliff, Mifflin County's opponent, in a couple days' time. State College has scored 3 in the top half of the first. State College leads 3-0 in that one. So now we head to the other District 16. Altoona just scored 2 on the Eagles from Cumberland Valley. And here it's 0-0. Softball trails the Trojans as well by a 4-0 score, but the Huskies have yet to bat in that one. Lepley chops that one foul, had a good eye on it. It'll be 0-1 to number 11. Head coach Ray Hoppel's not here today, so assistant coach Leister will be filling in. Here comes the pitch. Take strike 2. Lepley hits one high. Foul out of play. He'll still hang right in there. So Lepley still on an 0-2 count. Mills sets and fires. Takes low. Good take. Lepley wanted to go, decided better of it. Here comes the 1-2. Lepley's going to foul off another, and we got a hard-fought at bat here. Lepley has driven in 3 of the 4 Husky RBIs this season. Had both against State College and had one of the 2 against the Mountain Lions from Altoona. Lepley's 1-2 once more. Lepley's going to hit one down the right field line. That's going to hook foul just out of play. We'll do it once more. Running up Mills' pitch count. It's exactly you want to see if you're Mifflin County. Mills, one of the elite pitchers in the conference. So a lot of foul balls is going to help the team as a whole. Here comes the 1-2. Takes low. We'll go 2-2. I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I believe this is the 7th pitch of the at-bat to Lepley. Mills sets and fires. That one high and in. We'll go full. You can tell Mills a little visibly frustrated after the high and in fastball didn't hit the plaque. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And if Lepley's able to work a walk here or even get on base at all, no matter how, it'd be a very impressive at bat. Take strike 3. Lepley doesn't like the call. I could see going either way right there, but nonetheless, a great at bat from the catcher. Let's chase Leister now. Feels like Leister's due for a hit at some point here. Takes high, my apologies, for ball 1. 3:20 down the line here. Now Leister's going to hit one to the second base, throw over to first, in time for the second out of the inning. Lincoln Rubel now comes up to the plate. I feel like Rubel's going to be a key piece that not a lot of people are going to be talking about whenever it comes to this Huskies team, because you have Strohecker, you have Lepley, and now great pick by the third baseman over to first in time. Another 3 up, 3 down inning for Mills. But back to what I was saying, I feel like he doesn't get talked about because I feel like he always finds a way to put a barrel on the ball. As you just saw right there. Very well hit. Just a great play by Murphy over at third. But nonetheless, we're through 9 outs. 2 base runners, none for Mifflin County. When we return, bottom half of the second. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. We welcome you back to MCTV Baseball if you're just joining us. Mifflin County hitless, 3-2. Not had a base runner. Bryce Deneen comes up to the plate for the Trojans. Throw down to second. Warm-ups is done, and we're ready to get back underway here at Green Township Municipal Park. Trying to do what Chambersburg did in the top half of the inning. I will say, out of all of the teams to play in the mid-pen, Chambersburg's up there because they're nice people. Takes strike one. Really nice people. Very, very respectable. Very respectful. So that one's going to be low for ball one. But still, nonetheless, they treat everybody how they would like to be treated, and that is always good to see in baseball. Weaver sets and fires the 1-1. That one's going to get hit right field, right front of the pole, right behind the pole in front of us. That'll be the first out of the inning. Chris Stein out and right, reels it in. So, quickly, 1 out away. Devin Dowell comes up to the plate for the Trojans. Takes ball 1 in the dirt. One out count. 1 out. Nothing going for the Huskies in either of their first 2 innings. That one's going to be smoked foul. If he can straighten 1 out and get a hold of 1, this might be a 1-0 game because that one went far. Comes the 1-1. Takes outside. Low and away. Might have just gotten it on the knees, but definitely too far out for it to be called strike. 2-1 count, 1 out. Weaver sets and fires. Takes outside, 3-1. Chambersberg trying to get their 3rd base runner of the game. Mifflin County still looking for their 1st. Weaver takes a deep breath. Gets into a stance and fires. Takes Ball 4 high. It'll be a 5-pitch walk. Be a 5-pitch walk for the right fielder. Now the first baseman, McMullen, comes up to the plate. Center fielder, so he does most likely have some speed to him. You don't see a lot of slow center fielders in today's game anymore. Takes ball inside. That'll be Weaver's 4th straight across 2 batters. Hopefully for the Huskies, he can settle things down. Just throw some strikes and let the defense do the rest of the work. Here comes the 1-0. Weaver fires, and that one's more inside than the previous, almost hitting him. 2-0. 5 straight for Weaver. Weaver looks back at first. I wouldn't hate a pickoff here, but just no movement at all from the first base runners. That one going to be low. 3-0. Now we're going to have time called here by the catcher, Easton Lepley. Talk to his pitcher, simmer him down. And I agree with the PA announcer on great concessions here. This is the best ballpark. Maybe Mifflin County could compete with this, but take strike 1. But the scenery is beautiful. Just great ballpark. Like I said earlier, if you haven't been here, trying to make a trip down here, here's the 3-1. Take strike 2. Now Weaver's worked a 3-0 count off of 6 straight balls from the previous hitter carrying on. Working back a full count. Very unlikely, but possibility of some movement at first base. Runner does take off. Hit and run, going to go foul. So that'll be noted for Weaver. Runner's probably going to take off, but if you can focus on the batter, get a bang-bang play at second base. We know Lepley has a great arm. And dare I say that be an understatement for Lepley. Strike him out, throw him out would be ideal for Chambersburg. Or for Mifflin County, my apologies. That would not be ideal for the Trojans. Watch out for the runner to take off. Here's the payoff. Takes inside for ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom of the order coming up. But Mills is on deck for the Trojans. If you leave the bases loaded for the leadoff hitter, it's not going to be good. Ideally for the Huskies, you can roll. Weaver can get one to roll over. Get a double play ball. End the inning. Leave 2 on, stranded once again. Here comes the 0-0 pitch to the 9-hitter. Chop back foul. We'll do it again. The 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. Takes low. One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Sets, fires. That's going to be low. 2-1. No, called a strike. I wish I could give a tour of the room that I'm in. But long story short, there's a window blocked right in front of my view. So I thought that was in the third. Here's the 1-2. Takes ball 2 low and away. That's why I thought that strike 2 was ball 2. Turns out it wasn't. Two, 1 out. 1 hit for Chambersburg. 3 walks issued by Weaver. Here's the 2-2. Low, count goes full. Can't see the Husky bullpen from here, but for sure you don't want to leave Mills. The bases loaded. Weaver did strike him out last time. Still, the payoff pitch, runners might be off. They aren't. Struck him out. Textbook from Weaver. And maybe the most critical at bat of the game. Able to get a K on the board. At least through this part of the game. Now Mills steps up into the plate with a runner in scoring position. I believe a train is passing by just behind the highway behind us. That is one really, really big truck. Mills is going to chop one to first base. Gets under the glove of Leister. They're going to send him home. There's going to be a no play at the plate. Chambersburg scores the first run of the game. Gets under Leister's glove, and it's 1-0 Trojans. So runners on the corners with 2 outs. Vasquez steps into the plate. 1 run on 2 hits, 2 walks. Mills has the RBI. Expect him to possibly take off as he takes a quarter of a step extra there at first. Won't go. Takes ball 1. Settles down and fires for strike 1. Nice pitch from Weaver. Batter steps into the box. 1-1, 2 outs. Take strike 2. 1-2, 2 outs. Weaver really tying his shoe. We're getting some dirt out. Not fully sure what's happening to the right shoe of the right-handed pitcher. Mills takes that quarter of a step once more. The 1-2. He takes off this time. Takes ball 2. No throw down. That one looked good from my POV, but I'm not an umpire for a reason. 2s across the board. 2 in scoring. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chambersburg can blow open this game with 1 swing. Here comes the 2-2. Chops it foul. He'll hang in there. We'll do it again. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wants the signs once more. We were trying to limit the damage. That one's going to get away. Bledley gets back. Runners don't go anywhere. Count is full, but the base at first is open. So it's not as bad as it could be. Here comes the payoff pitch. That one hit back up the middle. Throw over to first. Gets away. It's going to score 2 for the Trojans. Leister giving chase. Stays at second. And it's 3-0. So Chambersburg has scored 3 in this inning. This might be Weaver's last inning. We'll see here. They're going to give an error to Mifflin County. Weaver's going to stay in here, just trying to be out of the inning. Base hit would score another run for the Trojans. Comes the first pitch. Takes inside. 1-0's the count. Weaver looks back at second. Settles. Look back a second time. Fires. Strike 1. Shake to the head from Weaver. Gives a nod on that one. Here comes the 1-1. That one blocked by Lepley. Holds the runner at 2. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Weaver fouls that one back. 2's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Winds up and fires. That one chopper down the line. It's going to stay fair. Chambersburg's going to score another run. It is 4-0. Courtesy runner for the Trojans. Trojans have scored 4 on 2 hits and 2 errors for the Huskies. No hits, 2 errors, and no runs. 1 is the count. Takes low, 2-0. Pick off and safely. The 2-0. Take strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner takes off for second. Throws in the dirt. He's in there safely. Three one, 2 outs. That'll be another walk. Now, the whole order has gone up for the Trojans in this inning. 4 have crossed, 2 are on. Here comes first pitch in the dirt, blocked. Steps off, Weaver does. Chambersburg has improved incredibly. They had 5 wins all of last year. They have 6 wins this year. That one hit left field. It's under it for the third out. But the damage has been done. 4 runs scored for the Trojans. Don't go anywhere. Huskies going to try to chip into that lead when we return. We welcome you back to MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, Chambersburg put up 4 in the bottom half of the second on 2 hits, and Mifflin County has 2 errors. It's really been the story of this Huskies team. Hartung rips one to the left. That'll get down for a base hit, and that might be the start the Huskies need. Get their first base runner of the game. Now Beamer comes up to the plate. Had to put out to end the inning. Last time out, Beamer's going to chop one. Foul. First base coach can't make the play. Pick off back in safely. Here comes the squeeze. It's going to be a dead ball. Hits off of Beamer. Pick off in there easily. Oh, 2 count to the left fielder. Hangs in there with a foul ball. Pick off in safely once more. Here comes the OT to Beamer once more. Beamer takes ball 1. Here comes the 1-2 once more. Hartung on first. Single to the left. Got the Huskies' first base runner of the game. Beamer fouls it off. We'll do it once more. After this inning, we'll give you some score updates around the league in Mifflin County softball as well. Comes the 1-2. Beamer strikes out swinging. Now batting Reese Christine for the Huskies. First pitch to Christine. Christine gets a hold of one left field, gets down for a base hit. Hartung into second safely. Mifflin County has 2 on for the All-State second team, Evan Strohacker. Mifflin County hit 1 home run all of last season, and it was in a 10-run rule game against Bald Eagle area. This team played small ball pretty much all season last year. They found themselves just 1 run away from a district championship. Here's the first pitch to Strohacker. Take strike 1. Here comes the first pitch. Strohacker chops a weak grounder. Play at first. They're going to call him out. Strohacker thought he was safe. Runners go from station to station. And Weaver now comes up to the plate. On any contact, expect the runners to go. Mifflin County wants them out a comeback. You gotta think they get these guys in here. First pitch takes inside for ball one. One 0 count to Weaver. Takes outside for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Lepley, or Shire's on deck, my apologies. 2 balls, no strikes to the pitcher. Call strike one there. Since our streaming difficulties in the top half of the first, knock on wood, things have been running pretty smooth. 2-1, 2 outs, 2 in scoring for the Huskies. Weaver's going to pop one foul out of play down the third base line. 2s across the board. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count to the number 2 hitter. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Weaver swings through strike 3. And that'll be the end of the top of the third. We're going to take you around the horn. Let's see some scores around the league. First, we're going to check up on State College versus Cedar Cliff. Last time we checked up, State College was up 4-0. Since then, Cedar Cliff has tied the game. 4-4 is the score. Let's check up on the Altoona versus Cumberland Valley game. Altoona's looking pretty good, I can't lie. They're up 6-0 in the top of the third, and they have 2 on in scoring position as well. One more game we're going to check up on is our softball team, currently losing 8-0 against Chambersburg. So when we return, bottom half of the third inning, don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. We welcome you back to MCTV Baseball here from Green Township Munical Park. My apologies if I mispronounced that. Cloud cover really starting to roll in here. Or should I say darker clouds, possibly maybe low chance of rain we could see. Forecast was called for earlier in the week. Ball one from Weaver. Weaver sets, fires, strike one. That one hit left field, out of play. That one's going to be a lucky souvenir for some fan. That one popped over here. Lincoln Rubel calls it. That'll be the first out of the inning. Now Lack steps into the box for the Trojans. Weather's calling for no rain, but very overcast would be an understatement here at the park. Strike 2 called and quickly down 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 from Weaver. Lepley thought it was strike 3. He was about ready to throw it down to Rubel. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. That one fouled back. One ball, 2 strike, 1 out. Mifflin County, 1 hit, 2 errors. Should be 2. That one also low, 2-2 count. The 2-2. That one called strike 3. 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the inning. Connor McMullen steps into the plate. Takes ball 1. Takes ball 2. Takes strike 1 now. Three one now the count. 3-1. Takes ball 4. It'll be a walk for the Trojans. Matt Murphy now comes up to the plate. Comes the first pitch to Murphy. Will take inside for ball 1. That one taken for strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. That one hit down the line. They're going to call it a fair ball. They're going to send him around to third. Picks up the ball is the right fielder, Chris Stein. Runners on the corners. That looked very close to being foul right down the line. Top of the order now comes up. Mills comes up to the plate. Single RBI, 1 for 2. And 3 shutout innings. Takes ball 1 low. One out. Takes ball 2. Two outs. Runners on the corners for the Trojans, trying to add on to this 4-0 lead in the bottom half of the third. Holds off. 3-0's the count to the leadoff. Takes strike 1. Three-one count. Swings for the moon on that one. Count goes full. Runner from first will take off. Runner from first will go. 3-2. That's going to be in the dirt. Bases are loaded. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Vasquez up to the plate. Chance to put in up to as many as 4 runs. That one inside nearly hit him. We're ball 1. Comes the 1-0. That one hit in between the gap. That's going to score 1. Could it score 2? There's going to be a play at the plate. Not in time. Rubel cuts it off. 6-0 Trojans. Now here comes Coach Leaster, and I think that'll be it for Weaver's night. I believe it's just going to be a good old position swap. Hartung into relief for Weaver. While Hartung warms up, we're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Warm-ups for Hartung are almost done. So 2 on, no, 2 out. Hartung gets a swing in the dirt right there for strike 1. 2 on, 2 out, 2 in the inning. Take strike 2 on the inside part of the plate. Hartung 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. Here comes the 0-2. Sets, fires on the outside part of the plate. Curveball nearly got him. Looking just about a ball away from the plaque. The 1-2 from the varsity quarterback. Sets and fires. Popped up. Luckily giving chase will go out of play. Here comes the 1-2. Hartung just missed the inside corner. 2s across the board. 2 in the inning. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 count. Here comes the 2-2. Hartung sets and fires. Takes ball 3. Runners will be off. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hartung sets and fires. That one's going to get hit down the line. Hits off the glove, still giving chase. The play at the bag is in time for the 3rd out. The damage is limited, but still some is done. 6-0 our score. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. As warm-ups for the top half of the 4th inning are about over, let's take you around the mid-pen, as well as checking up on our softball team. First, let's go to the softball team, currently down 12-0, heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. Altoona currently leads 6-1 over the Eagles from Cumberland Valley. And in our last game, State College trailing Cedar Cliff by 1, 6-5. Mifflin County looking to just try and get something on the board here. Averaging 2 runs scored per game. Is averaging allowing 3. Shirey now steps up into the box. Shirey chops a weak ground ball. Third base throw over to first in time for the first out. Here comes the first pitch to Lepley. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Comes the 0-1. Lepley takes in the dirt. One's across the board for number 11. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. One. Takes ball 2. Here comes the 2-1. Lepley takes strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to the catcher. Takes outside, will go full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to the catcher. Swings through strike 3. I'm betting Chase Leister. Leister fouls it back. Rumel on deck if we get there. Here comes the 0-1. Leister takes in the dirt. Leister half swings at strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fouls it off, we'll do it again. Here comes the 1-2. Holds up. We'll have 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. To the first baseman, calls time. One dead ball. We'll do it again. The 2-2 once more to the first baseman. Fires. Fouls off. We'll do it again. Takes in the dirt. Will go full. Mills versus Leaster. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mills just trying to get out of the inning. Still playing one-hit baseball. The 3-2, that one chopped the third. Shortstop's going to throw it. Too short. Leaster will get on with a single. Nice job by Leaster to beat it out. Now Rubel comes up to the plate. Mills looks back. Got one hit foul. Just by third base coach. Pick off Leisner in safely. A 1 count, 2 outs. Rubel just fouled off the first pitch, then a pickoff. Fouled off again. Gives him chase out of play. It's the Husky dugout. Oh, 2. 2 outs. Rubel in the box. Easter over at first. Second hit of the game for the Huskies. Sets in, fires. Chopped foul will do it again. Nice job by Rubel to hang in. Oh, 2, 2 outs, still the count. The pitch takes outside. Mills practically falls off the mound. One, two. Rubel's been really good at pulling the ball down the line. Rounded out the third his first time out. Here comes the 1-2. That one. Speak of the devil down the line. Throw over to first. In time for the third out. So we're through 3.5. Mifflin County trails by 6. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Welcome you back to MCTV Baseball. It'll be McKnight on the mound for the Huskies for the first time this season. Murray comes up to the plate. Mifflin County trails 6. If you're just tuning in, we welcome you to MCTV. Take strike one, McKnight. Welcome back to the mound. McKnight missed all of last season on the bump with an arm injury. That one would have doinked him in the head if he didn't move out the way. One ball, one strike. That one roped down the line. Out of play, foul. Good piece. One, two. That one hit back to McKnight. Fields cleanly, throw over first. In time for the first out. Here comes the first pitch from McKnight. Called strike one. Just high. 1-1 the count. One's across the board. Takes outside. 2-1 the count. Three one now the count. That one outside. It'll be a 5-pitch walk. Race the knee. Comes up to the plate. Takes ball one. That one popped. Foul territory, luckily giving chase. Out of view and out of play. One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That one ripped left field. Beamer reels it in for the second out of the inning. chopped foul down the first base line. One runner takes it off for second. Lepley. Good pop time to throw down in there safely. Very close play at second base. Takes ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike. Takes ball 4. Runners on first and second. Takes ball 1 low. Two O's the count. Two O, 2 outs. Take strike 1. Fouled back out of play. 2-2. That one gets away. Runners will go to second and third. Rounds the base. Smart play call. Three, two outs. Pitch. Called strike 3. That'll end the inning. Leaves 2 on in scoring position. When we return, Mifflin County comes up to the top of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. We welcome you to the top of the fifth inning. Mifflin County down by 6, trying to get the bats going. It'll be 7-8-9 due up here in the bottom half of the inning. Hartung is going to lead us off here. First pitch. Takes ball 1 in the dirt. 1-0 count to the senior. Called strike 1. Takes inside for ball 2. That one fouled back. Two. Take strike 3. Another strikeout for Mills. Cooper Walters now steps into the plate. Takes strike 1. 1-1's the count. Takes ball 2 outside. Here comes 2-1. Walters gets a hit up the middle. Cooper Walters in his first at-bat of the season gets a single, and he's hitting 1,000. Batting Reese Christine. Now batting Christine. Takes high and in for ball 1. Key injury for the Huskies that came official. Walters pickoff attempts back in safely. Carson Cherry, a pitcher for the Huskies. I believe he's planned to be used today until his injury came out. He was in a sling in the game against Altoona. Catcher's getting a chase. Go out of play. Hit right in front of us. But Cherry has a broken hand, so he will not be returning for, realistically, until playoffs, I think would be a safe bet. And even then, that's iffy on if he's able to make it. Pickoff. Umpire says safe. 1-1 count. 1 out, 1 on. Christine at the plate. Walters does have some speed, so expect a steal sooner or later. Possible at all. Christine fouls it back. 1-2. Double play would end the inning for the Huskies. Top half of the fifth. Takes ball 2. 2-2's the count. Two. Christine fouls one down the line. We'll do it again. Pick off and safely once more. Mills still out there on the bump. Now here comes the 2-2. Take strike 3. That'll be the second out of the inning. Strohecker now comes up to the plate. First pitch, Evans going to chop one to the shortstop. Going to go to first with it. Safe. They're going to call him safe. So Strohecker will beat out infield single. They're going to call it an error, actually. Now coming up to the plate, Austin McKnight. 2 on. Good swing, could bring in 2. Chop the lead down to 4. Or if McKnight really gets a hold of one, cuts the lead in half. Strohecker and Walters take their lead at first and second. First pitch. McKnight thought about it. Thinks better of it. Takes ball 1. 1-0. 2 out. Takes high and outside for ball 2. Looking back again. McKnight hits one over the second baseman's head. That's into the gap. That's going to score Walters. They're going to send Strohecker around, and Mifflin County is going to put up 2 in the top half of the fifth, and that might be what the Huskies need. McKnight steps up big for the first time this season for the Huskies as he has a standing double on Mills. And you felt like Mifflin County needed to pounce there. They have 6 outs after this. They're down 4. Catcher and pitcher meeting at the plate. Now Shirey comes up. You got to think, maybe a little bit of a more accurate throw over at first to get Strohecker out. Innings over. Could always go back to that. Still is a tough play. I think Strohecker would have beaten it out, even if it wasn't on target throw, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shirey with a single can bring home McKnight. Make it a 3-run game. Pops it up center field, giving chase, reels it in for the 3rd out of the inning. McKnight, though, scores 2 for the Huskies. This game's far from over. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. McKnight still on the bump after scoring the 2 RBI double to give the Huskies their first runs of the game. McKnight's finishing his warm-up. Throw down over the second. So now McKnight trying to go 3 up, 3 down here. That one low in the dirt, ball 1. One is the count. McKnight sets and fires. That one going to get hit right field. Chris Stein calls it. Has the first out of the inning. Mills comes back up to the plate. Takes ball 1. Mills has a couple of the RBIs from the 4th. That one fouled back. One's across the board for the leadoff hitter. Takes ball 2. Two one. Ripped down the line. What a play by Rubel. The throw over to first. Picked out. No, I don't think Mifflin County actually. I don't think that was Rubel. My apologies. Defensive substitutions for the Huskies. If Thad Gerwick over at first. Incredible play by the third baseman. Once we get a name, I will relay that over to you. Here comes the 1-1. I think the scoreboard is turned off, and I was looking away to try and get a name on the player who had that incredible play over at third. So right now, until otherwise, we're going to go with 1-1. Take strike 2. 1-2's the count. 2-1's the count, I lied. That one nearly hit him. 3-1. It'll be a walk for Chambersburg. They'll have another runner on. takes inside and low for ball one. Pick off in safely. After this inning, we'll give you some updates around the league. Runner takes off for second. Lepley dropped the ball on the transfer. Two-0. Fouled down the first base line. Two-one, 2 outs. Runner on second. Swings through strike two and a big pitch from McKnight. Count goes full. Three, two. That one's hit right field. Right fielder getting under it for the third out of the inning. Mifflin County won the fifth inning. They need to do the same in the sixth and seventh. They want any chance of getting back into this one. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Ooh, welcome back to MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, you missed a lot. You missed 5 of the possible 7+ innings. Chambersburg got out of the gun early. They scored 4 in the second. They scored 2 in the third. Mifflin County, though, has scored the last 2 runs, both of them coming off of a Austin McKnight double. So let's see if the Mifflin County Huskies can get the bats going. They are out hitting Chambersburg, but the run difference is all that matters in baseball. 6 hits to 5 the Huskies have. 6-2 advantage the runs. Advantage Chambersburg. The scoreboards for these games don't indicate. They don't indicate the game, if that makes sense. In my personal opinion. Like, if you dive deeper into the game, you see how it goes. That one fouled off. Up 2's the count. But I mean, if I go home and I tell a family member, hey, the score was 6-2, they're going to think, okay, it could have been closer, but still at the same time, there's a lot of more worse opportunities as Lepley strikes out swinging. But if I tell them to go watch the game back without knowing the score in advance, they wouldn't think it's 6-2. I don't. It feels like a 4-2 type of game right now. Thad Gerwick comes up to the plate. Mifflin County down to their final 5 outs. They need 4 runs. Strike 1 called. Mills still out there on the ball. Could he go the whole way? Gerwick swings at strike 2. DO2. Gerwick chops one to third. Tough read, throws it over to first. Gets away. Gerwick's going to go to 2. That one's going to roll to the fence. He'll stay there. Mifflin County now slowly but surely trying to get the bats up and moving. Now, I believe we can finally get you a name on the person who made that play over at third. Jude Zook, I believe, is who it was on the third base, making that nice pick. Took about an inning and a half, but we got there eventually. I think I said this last inning, but after this half inning, we will fully do scores around the league. This game feels, I don't want to say it feels long, but it's definitely a slow burner of a game. Runner in scoring. 1 out. Zook hammers one. Left field. Left fielder giving chase. Calling for it. Gerwick steps off. Doesn't go. I believe that was Zook. It might have been Zook or the other Beamer brother. Runner out second. 2 outs. That one chopped short. Plenty of time. Throw over to first. In time for the end of the inning. 3 outs away, Chambersburg are from pulling out the victory. Don't go anywhere. Still a lot of game left to be played on MCTV. Welcome back to MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot. You missed a lot, actually. Mifflin County scored the last 2 runs, but they're trailing by 4. Now, we're going to take it around the league here. We're going to start with a final in softball. Our girls' softball team lost to this same Trojans team in Mifflin County by a final score of 13-0. State College is up 1 against the Colts from Cedar Cliff, and Mifflin County take on in a doubleheader on Monday. Altoona is beating Cumberland Valley 8-4, and Central Dauphin is beating Mechanicsburg 8-3. Gatlin Kaufman's going to come up to the mound to try and get the last 3 outs here. Gatlin's first pitch. Pulled back a bunt, called for a strike. Kaufman sets and fires. Takes ball 1. Takes ball 2 low. The 2-1. Hit up the middle for a base hit. That might be 2 depending on where it's at in the gap. Pump fakes. It'll be a single. Trojans are going to improve to 7-1 unless a 4-run top half of the 7th squeezes down. Play at first, gets away. They're going to send him around to third. They're going to send him home. The play at the plate, there will be none, and the bunt turns into a triple. Here comes the first pitch. At 1 high. Lepley chasing back the runner at third. Called outside, 2-0. Takes ball 3. Seven runs, 7 hits, 3 Husky errors. Takes strike 1. Three-one count, sets and fires. Dead ball will take his free base. Runners on the corners. No outs. Coach Leister's going to want to see if it hit the bat before it hit the fielder. The batter, my apologies. get first base, but never hurts to double check. With runners on the corners and no outs, 5 runs away from Mifflin County not even being able to bat in the top half of the 7th, do they try and run Mercy a roll? Runner takes off. The runner breaks for home as that one gets away. And now it is 8-2 Trojans. Here comes the first pitch. That one hit on a line to the second baseman, caught for the first out. Nice awareness from the runner at second to not try and jump the gun, take third base, and that would be a double play. McMullen steps back up into the plate. 1 out, runner on second, 2 in the inning. One 0 the count, 1 out. Takes high, 2-0. Catcher Easton Lepley going to go talk to his pitcher. Here comes the 2-0. That one in the dirt, blocked by Lepley. Three 0, 1 out. Take strike 1. The 3-1. Kaufman sets and fires. Chopped foul. Way out of play. Full count. Kaufman's payoff pitch. One hit. Third baseman giving chase. Gets under it for the second out. Now Matt comes up to the plate. Swings through strike 1. The windup and the pitch. Takes ball 1 low. The 1-1. Hit down the line, but will hook foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The windup and the pitch. Fouled back. Kaufman's 1-2. Wind up and pitch. Takes high. 2's across the board. 2 across in the inning. Runner on second. 2 on, 2 out. Or no, 1 on. 2 ball, 2 strike, 2 out. Payoff. Hit down the line. Nice move by the third base coach. Shuffles feet, get over the ball. Here comes the 2-2. Chopped over the second baseman's head. That's going to get down. That's going to score another Chambersberg run. It is 9-2. Mills now at the plate. Take strike 1. Oh, 1's the count. 2 outs. 3 across this frame for Chambersburg. Fouled back. He wanted that one to go to the moon. Oh, 2. 2 outs. Takes ball 1. 1-2's the count. Comes the 1-2. Take strike 3. That's the end of the inning. When we return, Mifflin County's last 3 outs. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. TV baseball. If you're just joining us, you're going to catch the tail end of this. Now, steps into the plate. Mifflin County down to their final 3 outs. Here comes the 0-0 pitch. Takes ball 1. Takes strike 1. Mifflin County needs 8 to lead, 7 to tie. Takes ball 2. 2 grand slams. Here comes the 2-1. Dead ball. Walters. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Walters fouls it back. Here's the 2-2. Walters chops one back to the pitcher. Gonna call him out on the tag. That'll be the first out of the inning. Chris Stein now comes up. For the Huskies. Here comes the 0-0. Chris Stein takes high for ball 1. Takes strike 1. And for more likely than not, the last time we're going to have ones across the board today. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Didn't like that ball. Mifflin County is going to drop to 1-2. Chambersburg is going to improve to 7-1, if I'm not mistaken. Here comes the 1-1. Chris Stein pops it foul. Catcher giving chase out of play. If I had $1 for every time the baseball hit the roof of this building, I'd have like $5. One ball, 2 strike, 1 out. The payoff. Take strike 3. Chris Stein can't believe it. Strohacker now steps up into the box. It's the final out for the Huskies. He was the final out against Altoona. Here comes the first pitch. Striker takes outside for ball 1. That one on a line, it'll get down and it'll extend Strohacker's hitting game streak. So Strohacker looking on with a single in between the 5 and 6 gap. Now batting for the Huskies, number 13, Gatlin Kaufman. Came into relief in the 6th inning. Strohacker takes his lead over at first. Doesn't go. Pitch. Swings through strike one. Here comes the 0-1. Kaufman swings through strike two, and the Huskies down to their last strike. Kaufman steps back into the right-hander's batter's box. Strohacker takes his lead at second. And here's the 0-2 for the complete game. Strohacker takes off. That one's high. Ball falls out of the glove. Ball is still loose behind home plate. Strohacker has a streak of a single and a stolen base in every single game this season. He has 3 stolen bases, 3 hits, and all 3 win different games. The 1-2 now to Kaufman. Strohacker in scoring position. Kaufman swings through strike 3, and that's the ball game. Mifflin County loses their 2nd straight game, 9-2. Mifflin County's next game will be this coming Monday against the reigning state champ, Cedar Cliff Colts. Well, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I hope you have a great, happy Easter weekend. Spend some time with family. You know, maybe the Easter Bunny will come. Who knows? Thank you all for watching. Have a good Easter weekend, and we will see you Monday for a doubleheader against the state champs.